Welcome, everybody, to Drunk Dudes in a Gun Room. Today, we have got Matt and Barry with a Blackberry Jam band.
Yeah, man.
he's getting the close-in view.
He got this thing on the screen and told us as soon as you started recording. My bad.
Oh, you're good, man.
So
You're good. So, let's go ahead and start with your guys' military career. Both of you guys are Army veterans, correctly?
That is true, Don. Yes, we are. I'm my background's not as colorful as Barry, but I'm a Cold War veteran. I was in during the '80s. I went in '83. I did 6 years. And I was an artilleryman, 13 Bravo, shooting in big bullets. So I did my time. I got out, and I'm a retired cop. Been a cop all my life, but I've also been a rock and roller, and I've never let my veteran status be forgotten. So
absolutely.
I actually give back. I work at the VA. Actually, I work for the Veterans Affairs.
Taking
care of our veterans. So that's what I do.
I got a lot of friends that do that too.
Right on. And I gotta say, I guess I better give a shout out. If anybody, come on down to the VA. We'll come down and we'll take care of you. We'll do what we got to do.
Absolutely.
You guys. Yeah. So, but Barry here, Barry of the Blackberry Jam Experience. This is the man. 36 years.
Whew.
36 years patching him up in the battlefield. We call him Rock Doc. And,
were you enlisted or were you an officer?
Well, I had, you can split that right down the middle. 18 years I was enlisted and 18 as a officer. I'm a physician assistant.
Okay.
So, yeah, I came in '82, got out, retired in 2018, was a medic and went on to school at 18 years time in. And the world's oldest lieutenant when I graduated from my program. That was super hard, man. You lose IQ points as soon as you get commissioned as a second lieutenant. So all that karma of all the lieutenants I fucked with, it came right back to me.
Right?
But talk to me or look at me.
Right?
Can you imagine the face of the staff sergeant that you finally had to interact with in your platoon when he realized, oh shit, this guy's been around for a minute.
Yeah.
I can't get over on this one.
Cool. But hey, he deployed a crap ton of times and patched him up and got him back home.
So, yeah, I did
awesome.
4 tours in Iraq and 1 in Afghanistan. And I spent time in lots of units, medical units, listed, and then when I became a PA, I was in 1st Infantry Division, and I was in mech armored battalions, and
I was in a mech in Germany.
Yeah, in Germany, yeah.
Yep. I was in bomb holder.
Oh, yeah, I was in Philsec.
Okay, yeah.
Wow.
Somewhere in between Grafenberg?
Yeah.
Then first Cav, 1st Armor Division.
Yep.
Then some other stuff.
Yeah.
Have all, right?
My hero. That's why I'm in the band. My hero. That's why I didn't quit a few times. But
well, you can't sell yourself short either. I guarantee you, being a cop, you've seen a lot of shit too.
Yeah, well,
I feel safe with you by my side, man.
Yeah, I am. I got a colorful past. There's no doubt. I could probably write a few books. I'm from the East Coast. I'm from Maryland, between Baltimore and DC. So I did quite a few years in Washington D.C. as a city cop. And I started in '88, and there was a war going on. It was called crack the war, and it was between us and everybody who wanted to do it and sell it and use it. And it was definitely a colorful time in my life. I think it defined a lot of stuff. But I always had a music, in my music career, I've always had, bands right through high school. I started doing it at an early age, and I was able to translate some of those things that bothered me. It wouldn't let me sleep at night.
Yeah.
But it comes out, and my out is through music, and
the best front man ever had the pleasure of working with.
Man, I appreciate that, Barry.
Probably the best front man I've seen in this town. I don't want to get haters hating. They can't be as good as Matt.
Well, that's all good, but I appreciate that, Barry. But
lately, so we've had several artists that had just recently, it seems like the interviews kind of go in trends. For some reason, we find most of the people off social media, so they just start popping up in your feed and stuff, and then you start going down that rabbit hole. But lately, it's been musicians that have been coming on the show. We got some comedians that are coming, but I didn't realize until we started doing these interviews how much therapy is really in music.
Oh,
for real,
man, Don, absolutely. And here there is, another thing. When I came to Fort Bliss, or when I came to El Paso, I transferred with the VA. I came down here I was part of their police department.
Mm-hmm.
I came down here as an officer, and I helped them build their police department down here. They didn't have one, and we had a vet who he tilted the scale in the negative way, and a doctor was killed out of it.
Wow.
And I was high speed. I came here and I helped them out, and I decided to stay because I saw the veterans here. These guys, they need help. We need help. We have a huge population. Of course, we're on Fort Bliss. So guys will, they'll ETS out, they'll transfer here, we got guys with the sergeant major. They're talking about making this the hub of, I don't know if it's going to be, but the hub of the infantry.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. And we've got a lot of guys that, at our shows, all I got to do is, hey, we got any veterans out in the house? And oh my, it's just, hey, brother, and I've had guys come to me, and go, hey, man, y'all played a badass set. And when you did, his phone rings, and it's like, this is what I wanted to hear. He's got Simple Man, okay, by Leonard Skinner was playing. We just played it for him, and he's trying to tell me, this is what gets me out of, my hole.
Absolutely.
It keeps me from going down that rabbit hole. And music is everything. It has power to do anything. It influences everything. We've had presidents playing saxophones at their inauguration. We've had, you know what I mean? I mean, everybody has a theme song now, it's something. It really does influence. And that's what I'm in this for. But really the veteran part of it, I mean, we play on Fort Bliss a lot. We do Fort Bliss all the time. We play for the families of the soldiers. We do, it's called,
Friday by the Fire.
Friday by the Fire. We have guys, they'll bust them in from the field to come in and see us play, and for that 2-hour moment, everybody, some of the soldiers, some of the families have never even been to a live concert. They've never seen this, you're in Missouri. I'm from Maryland. Barry's, we did Indiana, right? People from there, some of these people, it's TV land. You don't leave the house, you watch TV, and to come out and see a live concert on a military, reservation, you come out to Fort Bliss, man, and we'll give it to you. And, and we do a lot of stuff. And that brings me to the biker thing. We played for the VA. We played for the VA. We played for everybody. We have veteran organizations out here. It's called One Stop. They help veterans transition when they get out. They help them enroll in the VA programs and help them get their benefits and get right. And we've played for them. And we'll play for free. We play it free because that's what we do.
I don't know if you can see the flag now. Probably not.
Nah, you can't see the flag.
They have an Old Glory memorial site that one of my friends is an administered. They have the big flags across America, and we play out there for them. Every now and then, just to kind of bring it.
It's about giving it to them,
Absolutely, man.
Giving them back, and if we can touch somebody just enough to keep them from, throwing a gun up in their mouth or whatever it takes, man. Don't beat your dog, your old lady. I mean, whatever it takes.
Well, what you're saying about the biker community, a lot of those guys are veterans too, whether they're one percenters or just regular bikers. We try to support that too. It's just of our interests.
It's like that's what we do. It's what we are. If you see Barry's cut here, he's he's CVMA. It's these guys, man. The Combat Vets Association, man. They're
Here, let me.
You can give it to them. Yeah, you can see.
Oh yeah,
you're kind of out of frame. His association is nationwide. They've got thousands of guys and girls.
That's awesome.
And soldiers, brothers and sisters, man. It's all about that. And we play for their organizations, and I'm cut up. I have a very heavy infantry.
Okay. Yeah.
Aggressive infantry. You have to be a veteran to be in my group too. So, and that's what we do. And my guys are tore up. Barry's guys are tore up too, but we have a good time, and we're family. And, so the music is just an extension of, that's all we have to give, man. I'm not a psych major.
Yeah.
Well, that's how the whole thing started. I came, downrange music's a release. So I would kind of gravitate to guys that play guitar, drums. You'd find them,
This is why you were in the field, right?
Yeah.
Well, downrange.
Downrange.
I mean.
And started coming up with jam sessions when I come back. I'd try to get a hold of some of those guys, and we'd jam. Then we finally got a lineup together, and we were like, what are we going to call ourselves? Like Whiskey Tango Foxtrot? I don't know.
Would have been cool with that.
Fucked up veterans. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Somebody found one of those MRE packets that was Blackberry Jam. My name's Barry, we jam. Blackberry
There you go.
Jam.
There you go. When I read that on y'all's website, man, I started laughing, thinking back about out of all the names that came out of an MRE.
Yeah. You knew exactly what we were talking about.
Yep. Have you guys ever heard of the organization called Guitars for Vets?
Yes.
So
yes.
So over the course of the band's lifetime, original lineup was 100% veteran. And one of our friends, Kenny Skaggs, he actually does a lot for
ran that program. He ran that program for our VA here. It's no longer happening, but if you asked us about it, do you know something? Were you tell us about
it? So a guy named Scotty Hastings just did an interview with me, and he's an ambassador for them. He was a 11 Bravo, got shot in Afghanistan, and he kind of turned to music, and Guitars for Vets helped him. And I don't know how big they have gotten, but they're looking for a lot of people that play guitar. They're willing to teach. That's why I was just curious if you guys have heard of them.
I'm a huge supporter. For some reason, so that falls under our mental health program, the VA, and it's not happening right now. I think they're working on trying to get it back. I've completely supported Kenny. I would step into the classroom with Kenny, just doing my job. I'd be there, and I'd see the veterans in there, and I'd run in there and go, "Hey guys, let me show you something real quick." Give them a couple bar chords right quick, and I mean, and it was so cool. I just, I'd like to see that. That's a great program. It really is.
Yeah.
It really is.
I'll reach out and see if I can't find out what happened as far as why, and see if I can figure out where it's at, and them trying to get a chapter back down there. But
that would be awesome.
Yeah,
that would be awesome. That would be awesome.
So back to your band. So did all of your band members actually come from when you came back from deployments, and different people just start playing, or how did the current band come together as it is?
Well, so I'll make it real simple. I met when I was in Germany in 1st Infantry. I met a couple of guys, Carlos Aceves, my original drummer, and a guy named Jesse Cardenas. We used to basically throw all the furniture out of my apartment in Germany, and then have the band come over and play keg parties, which I guess that was pretty fun for all of us. So anyway, I was stationed here at Fort Bliss since 2006. So I was back from a deployment, and I got an email from my buddy Carlos. Hey, I'm coming to Fort Bliss, blah, blah, blah. And then next thing I I got my drums, let's jam, and so that I had a drummer.
Yeah.
And then I needed a bass player, so one of my one of the guys, my wife and his wife are friends, but I basically taught him how to play bass. Said, "You're the bass player now."
He did.
And so I was looking for a singer, and another friend, I heard him singing karaoke. His name was Raymond Johnson. He became our vocalist, and I played guitar, and then my friend Kenny. Yeah, that's just how people just came together, and Kenny played harmonica off and on for in the band, and then the drummer brought one of his buddies who wasn't a veteran, but so 75-80% of us were vets, and we started. But over the course of anything, there's attrition. People have to get day jobs or move on or whatever. So eventually, through Kenny Skaggs, I met Matt, and man, it was just like that was the thing we needed.
I auditioned. I auditioned.
Yeah, he thought he was auditioning. Well, I guess he did.
I auditioned.
But that was like the breakthrough number one, and then
that's when it got serious when they brought me on.
Yeah,
it got serious because that's who I am. So
you can't have a good band without a front man.
You need a good front, and you need and everybody's got a gel. You can't have hands and all of that. We did all that when we were basement band kids.
Right. Yeah.
But we're all accomplished musicians, some different genres, but all very good musicians, and that if you can work together, we've all raised kids and done our thing, and at this age now, it's just let's just have fun. We don't care about being famous, but let's just have fun, and if you can be productive and throw a message out there, then you do it. That's what we are now as men. But I came on with Barry back in 2018 is when I came on. Kenny brought me in. He said, "Hey, I worked with him. This is the guy with the guitars for vets." And Kenny says, "Hey, man, I was looking for a band. I put myself on the band. There's a band mix website, looking for musicians in my neighborhood. So I set up a profile, and I was looking, but there was no bites. I couldn't find anybody decent, to jam with. This is a very heavy metal town, huge heavy metal background and stuff here. And I come from that, in the 90s was my heyday with that. But I don't want to do that. I didn't want to, I'm not going back into the hair days, because, hey, the hair band, I go on my face than I do on my head. But I jumped in with these guys, and I came in and auditioned with them, and I'll tell you, man, I ain't gonna lie, I was a little nervous, but Kenny brought me in. He said, "I know a band, the guys, this guy Barry Sipe, he's looking for somebody." I came in and I did my thing, and I've been with him ever since. And my role has changed a little bit. Now we had it was a big band. It was a 6-piece band at one time. Yeah. We had a lead guitarist, and we had some other stuff going on, and it just didn't gel, Yeah. And then we lost a guitar player, Carlos. Not a guitar player. We lost a drummer. He went on to do some other things, and we went through 9 drummers. We had 8 drummers, and I think it was me.
We got to count you in there.
Well, that was me. I drummed too, so I was drumming. But this all went down. COVID was tough on us. COVID. I can
imagine.
We were stuck inside now. No more venues. We were doing our thing, but we went through a lot of drummers. I've never done anything like that before.
9 drummers, 3 bass players.
3 bass players. And so now we're at 4 people, and we're happy. And we do, 4-piece band. We play. We
got 2. Basically, Matt and I share leads.
Yeah, we make it work, and we're getting better and better and better. And we just have fun. When you come and see us, you've seen the videos. We just have a good time. We're not, like I said, we're not we're just us, and like we get all the time, hey, hey, you guys are great. You shouldn't be playing in this little bar. You should be going to big giant stages, and we go, thank you. We appreciate that, but we've been there, done that, and if the big stages want us, and they do. So we've got a big festival this weekend, Friday we'll be downtown. It's called, was it Shamrockin'?
Okay.
It's big production. I believe Johnny Cage, big DJ, he's behind that production.
3 or 4 live bands.
There'll be some live bands. We're going to play up first, but they're blocking off this. It's right downtown with our skyscrapers, and big stage blocked off. We're gonna play for the city.
Awesome.
It's a big on what is it? St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah.
So we're doing that, and then the next night we've got another gig at a local place. And we're very busy. We're busy. But the band is
good.
The band's not going anywhere. We're still hard charging.
Yeah.
We're having a good time. So
and I think a lot of people you see it a lot, especially in like the podcasting side. Everybody will jump on it and try to start a podcast, and then they're looking at their stats, they're looking at their likes, they're looking at how can I make money off this. And I think once that happens, you try to get big, you lose the focus of why you did it in the first place. And that was kind of where this show started. Me and Doug started it from going to the local VFW and just finding out real quick that, we're not in that clique that was there. It wasn't about taking care of veterans there. It was about, social liking, and if you didn't fit in, it just wasn't. So we tried to get on social media, and then you get kicked off. I can't, I don't even know. I think we're like suspended for life from TikTok. So we don't even try to get on anymore.
You know what I say about that?
Yep. What? And you know why we get suspended every time is because in the gun room that we had when I was with Doug, he had a shotgun that was right behind us above the door. Yep. And as soon as we would get on and go live, it wouldn't, I don't know, it'd be 15 minutes, man. And we'd get the message, you have been suspended for having illegal activity. I'm like, ridiculous. It's what they're registered. What are you talking about illegal?
Right.
Our band Facebook page got suspended for 30 days because our manager, my wife, and she posted a picture on 9/11 of the Twin Towers and saying "Never forget."
And they got mad.
And it was like,
it's like that.
It wasn't like anything more than that.
So don't get us started, okay? Don't be polite, Doug. Don, we're trying to be straight, bro. I mean, I don't want to like start going crazy. I'm not going to talk about politics.
Oh yeah.
Unless you want to.
Do you know how many people hit me up that tried to get me going on little posts and stuff? I had one guy, I kid you not, he made a smart ass comment and he said, ooh, they're coming for your guns. You better run. And all I responded back with, I'm not worried about that, and I've learned, this is our second year of doing this. So we've been around just for a minute. And I've learned, it's not even worth arguing with people. You just,
right.
I'm not going to give you that much of my life and never get it back. So I just move on. And he came back and he said, well, I wish everybody else was like that then. He said, maybe you should use your podcast and get people to realize they're not coming for your guns. I said, maybe I'll just use my podcast to get my brothers and sisters to stop hurting themselves. And I'll leave the conspiracy theories for somebody else.
Well, there's a lot of vets that are having problems still.
In fact, I'll drink to that.
Yeah, here too.
Let's drink to that. That's what's up.
Yep. But yeah, it's
we're proud sponsors of Jim Beam.
I'm not gonna lie. I have been looking into seeing what it would cost to have a barrel of bourbon made with our logo on it. So I want to. It's expensive to get a distillery to make one barrel.
I bet we know somebody that could help you out with that. Mm-hmm. All you need is a barrel. All you need is a barrel with somebody with a laser cutter.
Yeah, we know he can do
burn your logo in it, man.
Any kind of metal work.
We know some people. We'll talk to you off
right.
I hope we can be friends, man, for a long time to come.
Well, So I got another thing that's coming that I've been working really hard on, and a lot of this came from seeing how many veterans was kind of moved to music, and again trying to get away from the social media stuff. Um, I was trying to get. I've got a radio station that started, and I'm trying to get two channels, music and talk radio, and then
Well,
at that point it's mine. Nobody can tell me what I can say, what I can't say, and so
Yeah.
forth. And so, that's coming in the works. So I hope that it's up and running, but right now it's just mostly like my content. And there's a few um, singers that have came on, and then there's some other podcasts, but most of it's just a mix of my stuff. The goal is to be up and running fully by May 1st, so
That's great, man. I
wow.
wish you luck, man. Anything we can do to help you out,
that'd be
let us know.
awesome.
We
I want to try to maybe get like for our opening day, try to get a bunch of people together, maybe have some music, some talk, and something to do with the veterans, and try
yeah,
to reach people that way. But it's down the road and still a lot of work. But you
yeah.
know, that
Well, you,
that's my passion, man. I love trying to give back and help veterans. I got lucky, and I do consider myself lucky because when I was transitioning, I think a lot of veterans, that's where the pivot point comes when the reality of everything you've known is now over with, and the unknown is ahead of you, and then you find out once you get out really how little you do matter in this big world.
yeah,
That the pond becomes a lot larger, and I think that stress level is kind of the breaking point for a lot of people. You no longer have that NCO telling you, you're fine, there's nothing wrong with you, you can't be broken, and you keep driving on because somebody tells you have to drive on, you know and you once you get out, you get lonely, and now there's nobody there to put their foot in your ass and make you move forward. And that's kind of what happened to me, the transition of getting out and
Is there a
problems at
veteran
home.
community where you're at?
Is there a what?
Is there a good veteran community where you're at?
Um, so there's a good VA here. We're right next to Fort Leonard
yep.
probably about 40 miles from me. And
Okay.
yeah,
I've been
so
there, man. No.
yep, yeah. There's Fort Lost in the Woods, but
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh,
there's a pretty good size veteran community here, and Missouri is a big pro gun area. So we do a lot of, as a matter of fact, we're getting ready to do, that's kind of one of the ways we earn our little fundraisers to host our events throughout the year. So this year's goal is we're going to take 15 veterans to a Chiefs game, a Cardinals game, and a Blues hockey game. And
Wow.
so we're doing a competition shoot. It's kind of like more like a 50-50 raffle. You pay the interest fee. The winner gets half the pot. The other half
That's
goes towards
so
us.
cool. That's so
Last year we raised like $500 and we gave it to Tunnel for Towers. This year we're going to use it and take some vets
well,
to some
right on,
games.
man.
well, that's why we like it here. And El Paso's got I think an expanding veteran community because
Oh
when it
yeah,
was air defense only, I've been here 3 times, over my career. But when after the Gulf War '91, the Cav moved out, and the town suffered after that
Yeah.
that you
Yeah.
know
I can see
that
that.
that
Yeah.
division pulled out.
oh
Then
yeah,
when Farmer came back, it kind of brought back a lot of life. But there's a lot of veterans here, and I still work for the medical command and doing my thing as a PA. So I feel still engaged with the veteran
Yeah.
community.
yeah.
The active duty community as well,
Yeah.
still out there.
Yeah, exactly. And he's like a hero, man. I was there when I was I wasn't with you very long with the band when you retired. And
Yeah, but retirement doesn't pay very good.
I know, right? Dude, I just joined your band. You're going back to work? It's like, come on, man, But no, I was at his retirement party and it wasn't long, man. He went right back to it. So he's still on post on
Yeah.
Fort Bliss in the Army Hospital, William Beaumont, still working on
Probably the
saving
only
guys.
place that would tolerate my potty mouth at work.
Yeah, let's not get into that. But no, and I enjoy it that way too. That's why I haven't left. I love it. There's so much to give.
Yeah.
Veterans appreciate veterans.
Yep.
We it's like this weird love thing that we have for one another, and there's a crap ton of us, and I if I went back home and I was back east, I went back to DC a couple months ago. There's no community. There's no veteran community.
Yeah.
There's nothing. There's no veteran community. At least there's so many people, so saturated, you can't find each other. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So
and that's one thing about the veterans is you can sit down with somebody you don't know. I mean, I do it literally every day, and you carry conversations like you've been with them forever. Because you've walked the same sand, you've done the same stories. And I think that's one of the big things that one of the things that I did is I created an app, and in the app you can just reach out and if you need to talk, you can just reach out and start chatting with us. And I've been woke up many nights at 1 o'clock in the morning, and 90% of the stuff that we talk about with the other person I've never met is just current bullshit, telling lies, telling stories.
Yeah.
It's about taking their. I'm not a psychiatrist, so the best thing I can do is try to make you laugh or tell you some lies and get you to live today to see tomorrow.
Hell yeah. You don't have to be a psychiatrist.
Yep.
If I call you, people on the suicide hotlines, they're not psychiatrists.
Yeah.
They're people who are just going to listen to you, man. Guys need to talk, man. I know I wake up at 2 a.m. like, I'll have night sweats.
Yeah.
I get up and I start pacing around my pool. I'll go in the yard at 2 a.m. My old lady's like, "What are you doing?" I'm like, "Baby, I'm having a moment. Please, just make sure I don't fall off in the pool and drown." It's 2 a.m. I mean, look, if I said, I pick up call Barry, he's going to answer the phone.
That's because I'm walking around my backyard.
He's doing the same thing. But no, I hear you, brother, and that's awesome that you're doing that. Anything that we can, if there's anything we could do, you need a band, you want something, you want to do a live something, we'll play for you live.
Okay.
And we can work something out.
Absolutely.
And we'll just give it to you. We'll do it for free. Lieutenant Dan Band. Yeah, that's I don't think Gary does it too much for free though. He's always in Vegas. He's got a regular gig. We've been trying to open up. Reach out to the Gary Sinise Band. That's Lieutenant Dan. And super cool guy. And he is for the veterans. And I don't believe he's one himself, but he has definitely made that role was pinnacle. So many guys fell in love with his character, and I did too. But getting away from TV land, we're here now. Mm-hmm. We understand the issues that are going on. We've lived it. We all know it, and we're here to help out and we give back, and that's what the band is about. The Blackberry Jam experience, man. You come and see us, and you're going to get an experience, no doubt. This is us here. We're going to go shout out.
Oh, that is awesome.
Took you into the, Barry's like, "Oh, we should show them the band room and this and that." I said, "Well, whatever, man. It's not that."
We'll definitely get together and do some lives, man. That would be awesome.
Yeah, it would be so cool. And two of our guys are not here. They're working. One's a
this is a little early for a couple of our guys.
A little early for the guys, but they're just like us. They're not veterans, but they are with the cause, or they would not be in this band.
Yeah, and there's nothing wrong with that. The veteran community makes up like 1% of the U.S. population. So it takes everything. We can't do it alone either. Without the support from others that whether they served or didn't serve, we're kind of at roadblocks. There's not much that the veterans can do by themselves.
You're right, man. And
I mean, we all came from the civilian world.
Yeah, it's kind of like
to come back to it.
It's kind of like there's experts, and so it's like I got a bestie back east. He used to come out to my shows and stand in front of me like this and just watch me, and he was into music. His record collection would stretch, 10 feet, 4 rows deep. 10
Mhm.
feet, 10 feet,
Wow.
10 feet with double live Gonzo albums and all of this kind of stuff, and I considered him to be an expert in music. He didn't play an instrument, a guitar, he didn't do anything, but if he said that was good, it was good.
Yeah.
Same thing with people who understand veterans, the civilian population. If Joe Dog was here right now, I mean, he would shed a tear. And his dad was a lifetime, but it was a vet. And he's here. He believes in the mission. He thinks about veterans. He thinks about his daddy.
Yep.
And he is so down. And I'm going to tell you, I wish he was here, right? He should be walking in any second. But he is a all-American boy from the heartland, Michigan. And I mean, he is down with anything that we want to do with the veterans. He does it, and he's got a tear in his eye, man. He is so appreciative and so down. And most of the civilians with that, I work with them.
Yeah.
I think we're 60% veterans that work in the VA, but the other the 40 that aren't are their family.
Yep.
Their daddies, their mamas, They're
so not there for the money, that's for sure.
They're not there for the money, man. Because I look at them, I go, man, dude, how could you put up with that? You just had a veteran talk shit to you. You did so good. You did so well for not being a veteran, de-escalating them, and getting them to their next station. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Without the cops having to come and clink them up, and they just do so good, and it's not perfect everywhere.
No.
But the mission is the mission. It is good. It's a good mission, and the civilians out there, man, they support us, man. In fact, we get most of our bookings for veteran events are civilians booking.
Wow.
You see, the guys that hey, I want to do something for my people,
Yeah.
And we're happy to do it. So anything you got, man, let us know. We'll come to Missouri.
Oh yeah,
Missouri.
Yeah.
Right.
We'll come during hunting season. We'll get some stuff going during hunting season. I'll take y'all hunting.
Dude, oh my God, I've been hunting forever, brother. I forgot what it's like. Ain't no hunting out here. You don't want to hunt out here. It's all these deer out here. They eat this brush,
Rattlesnakes.
They don't.
Well, they'll come up here like when I used to have my grapevines back here.
Let me tell you, man.
They come nibble on those.
Speaking of rattlesnakes, we live in the band houses. We're in a good spot. It's a very beautiful neighborhood. What you see behind us used to be range. This is all range. Okay, if you walk back there, you got to be careful. You might just pop off. But
I have a whole collection of
but
unexploded ordnance. I go out. Me and my grandson go out there and collect like old shell fragments.
But the thing is, when it rains really hard during rainy season, the water will flood down the main street. Rattlesnakes will be rolling down there.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man.
Yep.
But
I remember being out in the field and seeing them all the time. Running from damn tumble bush to tumble bush.
I don't like them, but hey, I respect every living thing.
Not a fan,
But we man, what a blessing! Thank you for reaching out to us, man. We've never had a platform like this, man, and we appreciate it.
Yeah, that's what we've been working on. Just a place for veterans to talk, and a place where you can't tell no. And
I'm telling you, man, for you veterans out there watching you, please, man, please, you guys, there is hope. There are good people. There are people who care about you, that love you, that, understand where you've been. And, man, come in if you're feeling it, man, come in, come, check us out. I don't care. Get on my Facebook, get on the band Facebook, and I will respond back to you. I don't care what time it is. And, the VA, I'll push it again. It's not all crazy. I know people like to talk a lot of smack, and it's not a perfect world, but the VA is, honestly, I've been with them since 2012. I started working with them, and not for them, with them. And, it's all about the mission, man. We take it like it's a soldier's mission. Okay. And
it is.
The band is like that, because it doesn't go away, man. Once you're soldier, you're soldier. You've joined the club.
Yep.
Like
taking an oath that doesn't expire.
That's right. And you were saying it earlier. You go into a room, if there's another veteran in there, you're gonna find each other.
Yep.
And that's what it's about. So I'm getting all emotional about it, but please,
I'm going down the road, man.
Yeah, don't give up.
You don't know how many times I've reached out to people and they don't have anything on their page that says veteran, but you can just tell you're like, and I think that guy served, and I would just reach out and be like, hey, as a matter of fact, a comedian that's coming on,
Yeah.
he's got a professional page. You would never know. But I just looked at him, I just could tell he turned out he was a Marine. So he's going to come on the show.
Let me tell you, that's so cool. Let me tell you, man, the first time I found out Jimi Hendrix was an Army veteran.
82nd.
Wow, I didn't even know that.
Airborne, 82nd Airborne. Jimi Hendrix jumping out of airplanes, bro. I mean, come on.
Can you imagine the stories that the guys that jumped with him can tell,
It's incredible, man, Okay.
His bass player was in 82nd with him.
Was he? Yeah. Bass player took him with him, man. I mean, it is what it is. There's a veteran on every block.
Yep.
And
I remember deployments. You would walk down Choose, and just like you were saying earlier, there you would see the guy that's sitting out of the front and playing his guitar and just unwinding from a mission or from work or whatever his MOS was. But you'd see it all the time. Next thing the next time you walk by, there's 2 or 3 guys sitting there with him. And it was not uncommon for soldiers to bring a guitar with them on deployments.
This guy did. I tripped that. I didn't know that. I'm like, dude, you're sitting in a tent in Iraq. Shit's going off every. He's got to go run down into the bunker. Where you gonna grab your guitar?
A Kevlar guitar and an M4.
Right, M4 guitar. It's too much, man. It's awesome. It's awesome. But they got him through.
Yeah,
and it's still doing it. It's still doing it. So we praise it, man. And I mean, we're never gonna stop until the day they put me in the ground. I'm never gonna stop giving back.
I got about a half a dozen guitars that have more time down range than
than your average soldier, right?
Yeah, I believe it.
So, yeah, we're a happy band. We're happy to give back, and we've been doing it for a while now. I don't want to toot, but we're a good band. If you like classic hard rock, come on.
That's all I listen to is Turbo on Sirius XM.
That's awesome, man. And we're in the studio right now. We're laying down tracks we've got 1 tune down. We got a couple more to go. I'm bringing some old stuff back out from my old days. We're revamping some stuff, and our drummer, Kirk Loudon, is a phenomenal drummer. Phenomenal. He's also a multimedia guy. He's an engineer, recording engineer.
Oh wow!
And he is, he's the newest member of us, and he is really just taken us to the next level as far as sound. And he can sing backup. Oh my God, I can't believe it. I hear this beautiful angel voices, and I'm like, where's that coming from? And it's him back there harmonizing with me, making me sound like gold. And it's been a pleasure to have him with us. And he's got a background. He's got a huge background in music. He's
music
done
and advertising.
Music and advertising. He's been in bands all his life. His son Casey Loudon actually is kind of a guitar player he's for hire. He's a gun for hire. He plays out. He's always at the Whiskey in LA. He's running all over the place. He was contracted to. He was touring around for the veterans. He was going out to the different places. He was in a karaoke band. He had to learn 200 songs. And they would go to, let's say you go to Bliss, and you go to the enlisted club. Do they still have that now?
No.
They don't do that anymore. Yeah. But anyway, you go to.
Well, he played out at White Sands.
He was playing out there. You go there, you pick a song. Whoop, you got a live band playing behind you.
Yeah.
That's our drummer's side of the story.
Man, that would be tough to do. Learn that many songs just so somebody can say, right? We're gonna do this one.
I mean, he blows me away playing guitar. I mean, he blows us away, but he's opening for national acts. He's doing great. So, and that's Kurt's. I mean, he's proud to his son. I'm proud of him for him. I'm proud for him for his son, But and then Joe, our bass player, he's got a huge background, country guy. But he
started off with rock and roll.
He started with rock. He had a band out in he's from Michigan. And so he was doing some stuff out there that he was playing the Casino Network and doing a lot of stuff. and he was out there. He knows what's up. He's been on the road, and he came to audition with us, and then said, you know what, boys, I like you. I like what you're doing, and because we take tunes and we make them ours.
Right.
We do. That's what you get with the jam and the experience. I talk a lot of smack on stage. I engage the audience. I try to get them to sing with us.
Yeah, man.
And so, but we've got a really happy crew, and I can't say much. I can't say more about it, man.
We put like a modern rock spin on some of the older stuff. So
we'll take a tune like Susie Q, and just spin it out of control. We'll just have fun with it. And the ladies like to dance, and that makes the boys get up and dance and come out and hang out. And it takes their minds off of what they've had, what they're dealing with, or whatever. Then
and we'll play Freebird,
and we will play Freebird, but no Stairway to Heaven. Not doing that. But
it's not part of the set list. But if you ask us,
maybe
we'll do it.
Maybe in the third set. But we're having a blast, man, and we appreciate you so much for reaching out to us.
I appreciate y'all coming on.
Any chance to get out there and not just be out there, talk about us and the band, but the whole veteran issue that I'm blown away by what you're doing, brother. I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate it. And
no reason to commit suicide, man. That's lost too many of my battles from that stuff.
Yeah.
No.
Just like, why?
Yeah, you got to think about it. We lose a lot of brothers and sisters, man, that if I remember my first good friend that, took his own life. Okay. What did that do to me? That just left me in the dark.
Yeah.
It left me in the dark. It made me wonder, did I do so? Could I have done something?
Yeah.
What about, and then to the family and the friends and all the other relatives,
kids,
what you do to them. Everybody gets left behind wondering, and that is just, that's not what we want. That's not what, as a surviving vet, cop, plenty of times waking up in the hospital. Okay. I mean, I know this guy here, all of the years, the pain, the stuff that we did, it's for nothing, don't do that.
Yeah.
Don't do it. It's not worth it.
And a lot of people don't understand, that you do this and you leave the people back that you do love, and the anger that comes after those people get through those, what did I do wrong? And they get to the point where they can't figure out why you did it, what happened. And they get over the fact that, okay, it wasn't me, but what was it? Then the anger moves in. And now these loved ones are now they're mad about what you did. I've talked to several people that, that's the stage in their life that they're in. And, these are people that they loved that now they're mad at, but they can't solve that problem because that person's not there to talk about it no more.
Yep.
And it's a bad situation, and the stigma, I hate to say it, but I kind of think that us veterans did it ourselves. When we were in the war was just to the point where it was eating soldiers alive. I mean, you were supposed to get a year off, but realistically, did you get a year off from deployments? Yeah. But you would come home and 90 days later, you were training for your next deployment. So you're already taken away from your family, and I seen it. I seen it at Fort Stewart, man. The being in multiple theaters was so hard on soldiers because Fort Stewart.
Thank God for our wives and families.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
you got to have that support.
Oh yeah,
gotta have it.
And I remember as I was retiring, man, we had Fort Stewart was Iraq. They never went to Afghanistan, and then right before I retired, they got orders. They went to Afghanistan, and by this time, this was at the very tail end. So this is like 2012, 13, and I told the guys I stayed back because I was retiring, and I told all the guys that I was in charge of. I said, hey, you need to make sure you get your Class A's straight. And I said, you need to bring them in. Let me take a look at them. And one of the privates, the dumb privates, looked at me and he said, "Oh, we're gonna start that stupid stuff already, Sergeant." I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Class A inspections." I said, "No, it ain't a Class A inspection." I said, "You're going to be wearing these Class A's quite a bit this year." And he said, "What do you mean?" I said, "They're not ready." I said, "I've been to Afghanistan. It's not Iraq." I said, "The leadership is young, the soldiers, and they lost 9 people, and we did." And that same private looked at me and he said, "Man," he said, "you called it." And I said, "It
You
wasn't
take
something I."
those pictures for a reason.
Yeah, yeah, and they made a lot of mistakes because the training wasn't there. It changed so fast. By the time soldiers was coming back and they were retraining and trying to go from the TTPs that they knew the enemy did then, well, those it all changed. You know, so the the point I was making is you come back, you don't get that time to digest, and it's just one deployment after. I did a total of 68 months between, if you count Bosnia, I did 68 months between Iraq, Afghanistan, and Bosnia, and
My brother. Wow.
man, I tell you, it wears on you, and then to come back and it just ends. I can't even imagine I don't think we've seen the worst of it yet. I really don't. The way Afghanistan ended, and it was just, all right, we're done, everybody go home.
Right. Just
I
leave.
yeah, I don't see that they're going to be ready for the support system
Here's
that's out
mine.
there.
Yeah.
You've got them on your vest, man.
I left one off because I didn't quite get the licks for 6 months.
Yeah. Yeah. So what rank were you when you retired?
I was a major.
Major. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Went from 01 to E1 to E8, and then 01 to 04.
Wow. Man. So
It's like
there's a
video,
lady,
though.
she did that in our unit. She was a E4 the last time I deployed. It was in Ramadi, and she was a medic, man. And we we
Yeah.
we we joked with her and called her bookworm because her nose was in a book all the time. And I didn't even know. I found out after I retired, but she ended up becoming an officer, and she
Oh
now
yeah.
runs she got married and didn't want to deploy and all that stuff anymore. So she's now finishing her time in the National Guard or Reserves. I'm not sure which, but
Yeah.
she's a PA's assistant. She runs a program called She's the Veteran, and it's strictly for female veterans with PTSD. You know, and
Awesome.
I never thought about it until we interviewed her, the the difference between men and women. When I would talk without even realizing it, I realized I was talking about men. I really wasn't talking about women, and you just kind of lump veteran together. Everybody's the same, but the mindset and the difference that women have, when they come back and they're that support model for their kids, and they're trying to take the kids to soccer and be the soccer mom, and still have a life and still have to do work because of the cost of living and everything else. They just kind of hide a lot of their feelings too, and you don't think about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so when she started talking about it, I said, man, that's such a good program. So any opportunity I get, I recommend, because they do a lot of Zoom meetings, they do a lot of outings and stuff
Yeah.
like that too. But
That's awesome.
it's a great program, man.
Yeah, I'll have to check them out. Put us in touch. We'll reach out.
Yeah.
Get a lot of that. That's something we'd like to spread around.
Yeah. They're out of Charleston. But
Okay.
yeah, I never really thought about the differences between, how men deal with PTSD versus how women deal with it.
I
And
think you're not alone on that one.
yeah.
Even the VA, it took a long time for the VA to get right. Now we have women's clinic. We have
Yeah.
women's clinics in every VA now, and we're really pushing on that. It's come a long way since I've been with them.
Yeah.
Because I never thought about it either. I was like,
Yeah. Until that interview. And knew her for, I don't know, 4 or 5 years before I retired, but it just shocked me. I was like, man, I didn't expect the interview to go this way, and I
right.
learned something, and that's what this is about. It makes you aware of different things and different mindsets. But so back to the
I
band.
thought about it till now.
Yeah, I'm telling you, it's
Yeah.
powerful stuff, man. So, what is one concert that you guys have done that sticks out in your mind? Something that was crazy that people would like to hear.
Dang.
Coming up with the tough. I'm coming up with the tough questions.
I think one of our first big events, they do like if something we played was they have a toy run for the biker community here.
Okay.
It's 4,000 or 5,000 people. That's always a fun event to
Oh
play.
yeah.
Last summer we played for one of the local clubs. I don't know if I should mention them, but I don't want to get the Grim Lords had a killer, annual bike run, and it was at a VFW out here.
Okay.
It had a nice outdoor stage. It was super fun.
Yeah, for me, I played in front of all kinds of people, big crowds, or the bigger the better, the more energy. It's just awesome. I don't, but I think for me, man, was when Carlos came back and played with us that night.
Yeah.
Our first drummer I played with that was family to him. He left us for a few years and then came back, and we kind of left on bad terms, and him coming back and playing with us for an hour, it just brought back it was the friendship came back, and that was a big thing for me that night. And then the tribute we did when we played out across on the east side, and we mentioned him, and we had actually Cardenas was with us. It was that was a big moment for me. I kind of got all weird sappy, but
that's always cool.
But I'll tell you, the ones that stick out in my head really the most are the ones we do for the VA.
Yeah.
For the VA over here on Bliss, those are the ones that mean the most to me. I think playing out in clubs, playing
right,
and we're drinking, we're having a good time. People don't really approach us as veterans really unless we mention it, and it's still not really. They don't come up and BS with us that much, But I think my favorite ones, the ones that stick out are Bliss and the little kids that come out,
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
And their dads,
I like playing for Timmy, man. At Detour.
Yeah, Detour's fun.
Sometimes
that's home base for us. It's a good time.
It's a good time playing out there.
But
a lot of our friends and family.
Now, if you want to talk
extended family,
you want to talk about some of the craziest gigs. Oh, that might be another show. I got some stuff I can tell you. Back in the day,
we like playing in Arizona. We play up in. We go to Alamogordo. They play for the Eagles up there, the VFW up there. It's fun. Then we go out to Arizona. My wife's from a little place called Wilcox, and we play in Bisbee. It's an old hippie town. That's always some colorful stories there.
Yeah.
But memorable. Yeah,
memorable, fun, good people.
They're all. It's kind of like you go to a show. I go to a show with these guys, and it's like, what's going to happen tonight? Uh-oh, you're getting a low battery on that. Let me tap that. And we're good. There you go.
All right.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you know there, Barry. I want to thank you for the nightmares I'm gonna have tonight. You mentioning White Sands. I never had no pleasant times out there.
Well, that's why I like being out here. I look out in the desert and I go, that reminds me of how many times I've peed outdoors.
Oh yeah.
I came to El Paso and I didn't know how close. I didn't know White Sands was like right there.
Yeah.
And when I was in, we trained in White Sands all the time because we knew the next threat was going to be the Middle East.
Yeah.
And so we were always over here, and I didn't realize El Paso was right here.
Yeah.
It was like, whoa, So
I just remember
back from Afghanistan, and it was like 2013. I went to the DMV to I don't know, maybe get my license or something, and there was an Afghan officer in uniform with a bunch of other I was like, what the hell is going on here?
Yeah.
And it looked just like the last place I was at over there.
Yeah, it's funny because I check these guys all the time. I go, man, why did you choose to retire in the desert? You know, it's the desert, man. We have sandstorms, you know, like what do they call them? Haboobs, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, it's like, dude, you know, like what our old bass player, Tony.
Yeah.
You know, he had a hard time. He had a really hard time. And he chose to retire in the desert. That always weirded me out, you know. Like most guys that come back and dude, they don't want nothing to do with this atmosphere, you know.
No. That's how I am. You know, my wife's like, you know, because we lived out there in Georgia, and she's like, "Let's go to the beach." I'm like, "I'll stay home. You guys go have fun."
Yeah. I don't blame you, man.
I've seen enough sand to last me forever. I can probably shake enough rucksacks and duffel bags and still pull sand out.
Well, hell, man. I mean, you were in Europe, man. You know, you've seen it all. You know, I don't know, man. It's crazy to me, man. But we really enjoy life here in El Paso. And
it wasn't. You know, the town wasn't bad. I just didn't like Patriot. You know, the atmosphere and the leadership that, you know, they didn't treat support elements like you were equal. You were the peasants. You know,
right.
So,
right.
If you weren't Patriot, you weren't shit. They'd be quick to tell you.
Air defense is another damn army. So.
It is. You know, they had the which way's up pats. They didn't even know which way was fucking up. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're not a defender, then, you know.
Thank God for y'all, though, man. I'll tell you what.
I always felt sorry for the generator mechanics, man, because that's the one kind of unit as a generator mechanic you didn't want to go to, because they had everything ran off generators. Every launcher, every, you know, satellite, everything ran off damn generators. And everything was important, you know. So as soon as one went down, man, you were screwed.
Well, I would think you got 20 in the back waiting, you know. When one goes down, you bring the new one out.
You would think.
Yeah.
You would think.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah. They make bubble gum and not duct tape for
it. It's all logistical, right?
Yeah. Well, you know, I appreciate you guys coming on. Once we end this, if you don't mind, stick around. I'll talk to you a little bit more about some of the upcoming projects and stuff, and we'll see if you guys are interested. But I appreciate you guys coming on, and I love what you guys are doing. And you know, anybody out there helping veterans, man, you're awesome in my book. So I appreciate that. And we're
plug
we're if people are looking to get with you guys or book something, where would they go to find you? So
we're on Facebook. We have an Instagram, and we also have a Blackberry Jam Experience.com. So, but you could go on Facebook, and it's the Blackberry Jam Experience Band out of El Paso. You will pop our page up. That's the easiest way to get in touch with us.
Okay.
And
all our information
is out there for. This is our logo.
All right.
Just come on out. You know, just check us out on Facebook. Give us a like, and you know, you got a personal message, we'll answer you back. You know, right. But that's how you get in touch with us. Blackberry Jam Experience in El Paso.
And I'll throw some of the links down in the descriptions so that people can find you. And you know, obviously I'll share the hell out of it and tag you guys on Facebook. So you know, anybody that watches our videos will be able to find you guys as well.
Right on, brother.
Yeah, our webpage is
right on, man. We appreciate
bbjamexperience.com.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's all on our Facebook. So
thank you for having us out.
Thank you.
Hey, I appreciate it. You guys take care.
All right. Thanks. We'll see you.